Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to the Directions Live online webinar series by Esri Malaysia. My name is Caleb, and I'm your host for today's session. Now, just a reminder before we get started that we are recording today's session, and the recording will be available to you in the Esri Malaysia events page later this week. So if you want to rewatch it, you have that available to you. So allow me to introduce our presenter today, Nabila, who is a solution analyst at Esri Malaysia in the product and technology team. Without further ado, I shall pass the presentation to Nabila. Over to you, Nabila.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Nabila, and for today, we're going to explore on the update for the ArcGIS Online, what ArcGIS Online has offered to us. Okay, so this session is very beneficial for those who has already explored or using ArcGIS Online, but for those who haven't got any chance yet, don't worry, I will not go into deeper for each of the session. So perhaps you guys can join along and have a better sight for the ArcGIS Online is all about. So in the meantime, as what Caleb has mentioned before, I also put the QR code along my slides. So feel free to scan it to get the latest newsletter from the Esri Malaysia. So before I move further, this is our today's agenda. Actually, for this release, we have a lot of the update for the ArcGIS Online, but due to limited time that we have, so let's focus on the best update that will benefit to everyone. So if you want to explore more, I already have prepared to you the link for the latest update at the end of this session. So you can go, you can click on the link and you can explore it by yourself. Okay, so the first one I'm going to introduce on the new version of the map viewer. What is the capabilities and what are the features update for this latest update? And then we're going to see the new and improved feature of the application in the ArcGIS Online. There's a new of the widget in the ArcGIS Instant Apps and some of the minor changes or minor update for the ArcGIS Dashboard, and also addition of the widgets in the ArcGIS Experience Builder. And some of the enhancement in the sharing and collaboration, data management, as well as accounts and administration. So let's move on. So we go to the first one we call as the new map viewer. For those who wonder what is map viewer, if you want to view your data, you want to edit your data, or you want to do analysis of your data, okay, this is where you can do it in the ArcGIS Online by using the map viewer. So for this update, a map viewer has come up with two versions, the classic map viewer and also the new map viewer. So the difference between these two classic and new map viewer is the analysis process. It depends on what analysis that you want to do. Some analysis required you to use the classic version, and some of it required you to use the new map viewer. If you open your ArcGIS Online, okay, you might see only new map viewer. This is because now the administrator has the privilege to set up on what map viewer does the admin want the organization to see. So probably you won't see the classic version because your admin has set it up the new map viewer version for you. In the map viewer, the first update for this update is the effect element. So by using this effect element, users are able to view your map in more unique and interactive way. Previously, you can just see your map in a static way, but now by using this effect, you can improve on how you want to visualize your map. It is not only applicable for the whole layer. If you want to specify or you want to filter your data, you can also choose the feature specific as well. In using the effect, it will help you to customize your data in the way that you want, okay, and you will make it more valuable. This effect can be also applied to the point, line, areas, raster, and also imagery layers. Next one, we have the pop-up where it has come up with the arcade element. So what is arcade? Arcade is actually a simple script that we use to make our pop-up become more informative. Okay. The new arcade element that is support pop-up using ready-to-use template. For example, if you want to manipulate your data or you want to calculate the average, you want to calculate the mean, you want to calculate the total value of any number that you want of your data. So you don't need to create the script from the scratch. Okay, instead we have the template for you to straight away use and just put your attribute, so it will process it for you. Okay. In the meantime, as you can see at the right picture here, okay, at the general pop-up, it will show or it will pop up as a list. Okay, and at the right side, if you have the arcade element and also the HTML, you can add the table, you can add text, you can add image, or you also can add a banner to make your pop-up more valuable and more informative. Later, we will see in the demo on how actually I did this arcade element. So if you want to style your layer, okay, we have more than 160 color ramps that are now available. And the new update, we can also view the status of the layer properties, either in the authoritative or deprecated. For example, you have a map. So in your map, we have a lot of the layers. Okay, some of the layers you want to show in your map. So if you want to show the layer in your map, you need to set it up as an authoritative. But there are some of the layers that you don't want to show in the map, you don't want to use in the map, but still you want to keep it. Then you can set it up as a deprecated. I mean, if other user comes and see your map, they can know which of the layer that you are using by setting up the authoritative and deprecated button there. You can also disconnect or reconnect to the safe layer. For example, in the ArcGIS Online, okay, you use the Living Atlas data. So by using the Living Atlas data, you can change or modify the data from Living Atlas by yourself. You can change the symbology, you can change the colors and so on. If you disconnect the data from the original one, by mean everything that you change does not change the original one in the Living Atlas. But if you don't want, if you make the changes and you don't want, you want to go back to the original one, you just click on the reconnect back, so that your data will be reset back to the original data that you get from the Living Atlas. You also can add the GeoJSON layers now in the map viewer, and we have the sketch layer. So you can sketch on top of your layer by using the map viewer, and all of your sketch is being snapped to the new hosted feature layer. I mean, the sketch layer that you did, it does not combine together with the original layer or the existing layer that you have. Okay. Okay. Next, I'm going to show to you the demo on how it looks in the map viewer. So this is your ArcGIS Online. If you want to go to the map viewer, you can click on the map tab up here and the classic one will appear. So if you want to go to the new one, you just click on the new map viewer. So this is how the new map viewer will look like, right? Okay, you can just add, for example, here we have the GeoJSON update. Okay, you can add the layer here. Okay, and for this demo, I would like to show to you the example of the Malaysia district boundary. Okay, so I already have this layer, and I click on the eyes button there, it will show to the map. And if I click it again, So we will go into the editing mode. So here you can actually play around with your data. You can style your data. If you can choose any of the field that you want to show. For example, here I want to show the total population of the people in Malaysia. Okay, so you can play around with this. Okay, and then this is like the usual map that you always see. But now we're going to use the effect, okay, to actually give effect to your map. Now we have the whole layer and also the specific layer. So you can see if we click on the drop shadow there, okay, our layer will, our map will change. You also can add a feature specific as well. Okay, you can do that. All right. Okay, for example, here, I want to do the total population is greater than 500,000 people. So you can just see how is it looks like in your map. Okay, if you think you want to verify more on your map, you can just choose any of the choice that has been given in the map. What if you have the dark-based map here? Okay, we also have the recommended layer or recommended effect for you if you have the dark-based map here as well. So as you can see how it is look like for the dark-based map. Okay, next, in terms of the arcade element for your pop-up, usually if you click on the feature in your map, okay, so this is the original pop-up that we show lah in the list term. Okay. If you use the arcade element, you can add the table, you can add or you can modify, you can manipulate your data. You can show the total number of the household income, for example, here. So how did I do this one is actually using the arcade element. So I'm going to show to you. We just click on the configure pop-up here. You can see we have the manage expression where that is the place where we can do the arcade element. So we can add content, for example, chart, image, text, and also arcade. If you want to add this kind of table, you need to use the text content. Okay, this is the example of the text content yang Ida create for you. Okay, the table is being added by using the HTML scripting, and this is the simple of the HTML scripting. Okay, and in the table itself, I did include the expression to calculate the total of the household income for the state. And how did I do the expression one? I'm going to show to you. Okay, we just click on the manage expression. Okay, we go to the expression one, and this is how it looks like for the arcade element. You can just use the simple scripting. You can add any attributes that you want. You can just play around. We have a lot of the template in the arcade element for you to use, and you can also test it before you want to publish it to your map. So that is how arcade element works, right? All right, we move to the application, the update for the application. The first one, we have the ArcGIS Instant Apps. So ArcGIS Instant App is the latest generation of the configurable apps. ArcGIS Instant Apps, you can build your apps quickly and easily using the ready-to-use template that they have, Esri has actually created for us. And all of this template is a non-code application template, which you can just use it. You can just add your data and you can just create applications straight away. But then if you want to do some customization, you can also do it in the ArcGIS Instant App as well. So for ArcGIS Instant App, we have come with the 4 new update for it. The first one is the slider. So if you have a historical data, if you have, you want to see the data evolve, for example, so you can use this ready-to-use template called a slider. Okay. Next, we have a chart viewer. You can display up to 10 chart. You can have a histogram chart. You can have a bar chart, line chart, and also scatter plot to view in your map, and it will file together with your map. So as a reminder, all of the chart is actually being created in the map viewer first. So you cannot create the chart by using this chart viewer, but you can display all of the chart that you have in the chart viewer. Next, we have a countdown. Okay, for the countdown, it will show you the location by rank based on the statistical value. For example, here it will show you the top counties with the oldest population. So it can be shown also in the leaderboard to see the overall ranking of the oldest population. So if you have the data according to the ranking, you can show it in the countdown templates. And the last one, we have the exhibit. So the exhibit is still in the beta version, but for the exhibit, you can highlight a series of the map location. I mean, you can do like a slide presentation, but using a map location. Here you can add bookmarks, you can enable the pop-up, you can adding the slide notes, you can add the pictures, and then you can choose a different base map for each of the slide. Okay, it will change it for you. Okay, next we're going to talk about the ArcGIS Dashboard. So for those who know ArcGIS Dashboard, doesn't know ArcGIS Dashboard, sorry, a dashboard allows you to monitor the event. It allows you to make a decision and also see the trend. You can put a lot of the information all together in the dashboard for you to analyze it. And all of this information that is put into the dashboard is actually using the element. So we have a lot of the elements such as a chart, you can add list, you can add indicator, you can add legend, map, and so on. On this new update, we have the update for the table element. So for this, easy for user to display the information in the table version. Okay, and as you can see, they also has redesigned and the ArcGIS dashboard and includes the new layout panel. Previously, if you want to edit the data, okay, you can click on the top right side, okay, for you to edit all of your data, for you to add the element. But now it's look mostly like a new map viewer as well. You can edit it at the left side. Okay, next we have the ArcGIS Experience Builder. So ArcGIS Experience Builder includes many out-of-the-box widgets for creating web experience. So each widget has its own capabilities and use. So it depends on the user of how they want to display their data. So for this new update for the Experience Builder, it has come with the two new widgets. We call it the elevation profile and also the suitability modeler. For the elevation profile, if you, for example, you want to see the slope difference, you want to see maybe after a disaster, for example, you want to see does the place there change or not, but you cannot go because the place is too high, for example. So you can just use this elevation profile for it to generate the elevation for you. But keep in mind that this elevation profile require you to use the elevation data. If you're using the ArcGIS Online, in Esri, we already have the terrain data or the elevation data for the user to use. Later on, I will show to you in 3D the data that I took from the Esri, and it will straightly show to you the elevation profile. Okay. For the suitability modeler, is the best widget for you if you want to do some of the analysis. For example, you want to do the prone analysis of the hazard to occur. Okay, you want to do some prediction of the hazard. So you can use the suitability modeler by adding all of the factor of your data. Okay, and you can insert the modeler, and it will automatically process it for you and show which is the most highest risk for the hazard to occur, for example. So you can use this suitability modeler. So the next demo, I'm going to show to you how it looks like. This is your ArcGIS Instant Apps. Here you can see a lot of the template that you can use, and each of the templates, if you have update or the widget is the new or the template is the new, it will show to you here. For example, I want to use or I want to create a chart viewer apps template. We can add the title, we can add the text, and you can create. Okay, here they have given you the template for you to just follow the template, and you can just fill in and you can just play around with it. For example, I already had adding the maps, okay, and then I add the chart. For example, here I have 2 charts. Okay, so I add these 2 charts and I can play around where I want to put, where is the layout, okay, what size of the chart, and so on. Okay, and then I can publish it. Next, we're going to talk about the elevation profile demo using the experience builder. Okay, so this is our ArcGIS experience builder on how you want to use the elevation profile demo. For example, we go to Penang area. So we want to see how this slope will affect the road at below of the area. Okay, so how you want to do that is you can just click on the draw profile that I did here. Okay, you can just pick where you want to start and double click on where you want to finish, and it will automatically display for you the elevation profile that you have. And we also got a profile statistic here where you want to see which of the point that has the maximum value or lowest value of the elevation. How did I do this? So we go to the editing mode in the experience builder. So here you can see a lot of the widget that we can add on. We also have the elevation profile and also suitability modeler here. So you can just drag in any of the widget that you want lah. For here, I choose the elevation profile widget, and you can choose map that will tie to the widget as well. Okay, you can play around with this. It's either if you already have the line, you want to see the elevation of the line, or if you don't have the line, you can draw a profile that I did just now. Okay, you can just click on it. Okay. Next, I'm going to show to you the ArcGIS dashboard on how a table element will be added in the ArcGIS dashboard. Okay, so this is the editing mode for the ArcGIS dashboard. You can just click on the add element at the left side here. Okay, and the table element will appear. You can choose any of the layer table that you have, and you can play around with it. For example, for the table type, we have the group value and also the feature value. For this, I'm going to choose for the feature value. Okay, you can add as many as feature that you want from your original table. Okay, you don't need to show everything. Okay, I just show 4 to 5, for example, the thing that I need to show only. And then you can play around with the table. For example, you want to change the background color, you want to change the text color, or you want to change the label as well. You can do it in this table element. Okay, you can rename it, and also you can type it. For example, if you click on the table, then it will tie or it will give action to the map, for example. So you can also do that in the table element. Okay, for the data management, we have the update for the feature layer. Now, previously, you need if you have multiple layer, you need to add one by one. But now we have the ability to add a multiple layers of a different type. You can add point, line, polygon, and also the table at the same time, and it will one-off publish. And if you don't have the structure yet, okay, we S3 also has include the templates for you to create your layer, okay, according to the industry that you are in. Okay, and you can preview the layers and fill before you choose the templates. So later on, I will show to you in our last demo for this creating feature layer. In terms of account and administration, for the security, admin can restrict member access to only approved external application, and also they can block the member access to every application that currently in beta. In terms of credit budget, if user has actually exceed the limit of the credit use, they will be going under the restricted subscription, where the user cannot use the premium apps, or the user cannot use the analysis that they usually use before. So if you have this kind of problem, for example, this kind of difficulty in using your ArcGIS Online, probably you have actually exceed your credit budget. Okay. And for the homepage, the update for the homepage is the reminder for the user to upgrade or to change your homepage. And we have come to the last demo. So this is our ArcGIS Online. If you want to add a feature, you can just go to the content here. So this is where you can play around with your layer and so on. Okay, you can just click on the new item at the top left here. Okay, and you can create a feature layer here. If you click on the feature layer, it has come with a few of the options. You can create a blank layer, you can choose the existing layer, you can choose a template as well. Okay, this is what I mentioned to you before. You can add as many as the layer that you want. Okay, as many of the choose. If you want to choose the point layer, line layer, polygons, you also can do that. Okay, you also can use the template. If I click on the template here, we have a lot of the template from different industry. We have agriculture, forestry, and so on. So for the agriculture, if I click on the pest monitoring here, you can see a lot of the feature layer that Esri has give to us, and it depends on if you click on the layer, if you want to select the layer to show in your map also can. If you don't want to show the layer, or you don't want to show the layer into the map, the table into the map, so you don't need, you can deselect it. Okay. Okay, usually we can set our item as authoritative or deprecated, so that our user are more aware of the content we use. So authoritative is something that we can tag as our hot and new items, and deprecated is something that we label for items that may be outdated, but we still want to keep it. So this makes the user aware easily. So in this new update, you can now easily see this tag straight away in this page. So you don't need to go to the layer back to see, oh, this layer is authoritative or deprecated. Instead, in this new update, if you click on the map viewer layer, okay, you can see is it in authoritative or deprecated. So as a wrap up for today, we have covered a lot of the things. Okay, we have a few key takeaways to highlight that is easy for you to bring home. First, we have covered on the map viewer. Okay, updates on the effect, pop-up in terms of arcade element and GeoJSON layer that you can upload it in the map viewer. And also we have the ArcGIS Instant Apps, the new templates we have, which is slider, chart viewer, countdown, and also exhibit. We have a minor update for the ArcGIS Dashboard in terms of table element and also new layout panel. In terms of experience builder, we also have the new widget called elevation profile and also suitability modeler. And we have covered for the update for the data management, sharing and collaboration, and also account and administration. So I hope everyone can be together with me and understand on what I have present. So with that, I end my presentation. So I give it back to you, Caleb. Thank you.
Thanks, Nabila. That was an interesting presentation on the ArcGIS Online updates. So we have had a couple of questions come through. So if you have been listening intently to Nabila and you haven't had a chance to type out your question, there's still time. So you can do that in the questions pane. And in the meantime, don't forget to scan the QR code or type bit.ly/esrimysub in your browser to subscribe to Esri Malaysia event news. So to just kick off, we have a couple of questions. So the first one is, so you showed the suitability modeler for the ArcGIS Experience Builder, and he was wondering how is the data process in creating this app. So over to you, Nabila.
Okay, thank you, Caleb. Sorry. Okay, so I guess you has asking a question for the suitability modeler widget in the ArcGIS Experience Builder. So for the suitability modeler, if you want to do the prediction for the hazard, for example, so you need to have a lot of the data, okay, to process and to do the to focus on which area that you want to do, okay. By using the suitability modeler, you need to have a model, okay, for you to insert before it can process it for you. For example, if you want to do the prediction, okay, you need to have the weighted overlay model, which you need to state the percentage of which of the factor that you want it to the most affected area that you want. Okay, so if you don't have this modeler, this model for it to process, so you cannot use this suitability modeler. So by right, to answer your question, if you want to do the suitability modeler, you need to have the data. If you have the data, you need to have the model for you, for it to process it for you. If you are using the ArcGIS Pro, we also have the suitability modeler. It's worked like seamlessly with the ArcGIS Pro as well. So I hope that's I answer your question. Thank you. Over to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Nabila. So the second question that was asked is, does ArcGIS Instant Apps replace ArcGIS Configurable Apps? I think this would answer quite a few people out there. So over to you, Nabila.
Okay, as I mentioned before, ArcGIS Instant Apps is the latest version for the ArcGIS Configurable Apps. Now, many of the ArcGIS Configurable application templates has been migrated to the ArcGIS Instant Apps. So in the future, for ArcGIS Configurable Apps, it might be in the matured state and will be retired soon. Okay, so we are advised on our user to use the ArcGIS Instant Apps instead of using the ArcGIS Configurable Apps. But as for now, ArcGIS Configurable Apps are still available in your ArcGIS Online. I think I answered your question. Over to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Nabila. I'm sure you did answer those questions very well. And if I may add one more question. So there's one who asked about migrating from the old map viewer to the new map viewer, and how can they do it automatically? And also if the existing that's saved in the old map viewer can be opened in the new one. So can you shed some light on this, Nabila?
Okay, if I want to rephrase back, you want to know on how we want to migrate from the new map view, the classic one to the new map viewer, is it?
Yes, I believe that's the question. Yep.
Okay, actually, in the ArcGIS Online, we have that both available. Okay, but if as an admin, if you are an admin, you can set it if either you want your user or your organization to use the classic version or the new version. So some of the analysis, if you do it in the classic version, if you just open it in the new map viewer, some of the analysis it cannot like bring all together inside the map viewer, because map viewer still does not have the capability of certain analysis. So if the analysis is in the classic map viewer only, okay, it will not showing in the new map viewer. So it depends on what analysis that you want. And if you want to, there's no such a migrating things here. It's only for about like what type of the map viewer that you want. If the new map viewer, it gives more capabilities, more user friendly, okay, more feature updates for you. Okay, not as saying the classic one is not updated, it is still updated, but then we are encourage our user to more using the new map viewer version compared to the classic one. Over to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Nabila, and I hope your question was answered. So before I end the Q&A session, all the updates of ArcGIS Online can be found if you just do a general search on ArcGIS blog and ArcGIS Online updates on your preferred browser, and you should be able to find a lot of information and documentation that's been done. So thank you for your questions, but that's all the time we have today. And if we have not answered your questions, we will surely reach out to you with the response through email. Next, please. So just a little about what's coming up on our next webinar series. So on March the 24th, next Thursday, we'll be sharing on the ArcGIS Drone-Centric Application Suite. And this aims to showcase series of the ArcGIS products tailored to work and process drones and imagery outputs. And this might benefit individuals or your organization needs for a variety of imagery use cases. So tune in to learn more about how these applications can address issues, support imagery workflows, discover a clear and straightforward experience in imagery map production, and most importantly, an end-to-end drone workflow with a wide range of outputs supported. So do keep a lookout for the space, which is s3malaysia.com.my/webinars for the upcoming events and webinars. So thanks, Nabila, and thank you all who are joining us, and we will see you for the next Directions Live online webinar series next Thursday. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.